welcome back to another episode of Celestine Talks. I am your host, Luel, on the mic, and this is the official sixth episode, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the sixth episode of this podcast, and we are like down to the second to the last episode of this podcast, and it's just so surreal na patapos na yung year and like 2020 is like, almost done. A lot of content creators or more like social influencers are already like saying goodbye 2020. One of them, my most, like yung fina-follow ko talaga recently ngayon is si Alicia Marie is a Western YouTuber and a vlogger for lifestyle. And meron siyang mga vlogs ngayon, yung parang vlogmas. Although hindi naman kami nagsa-celebrate ng Christmas. I just want to like, follow her everyday vlogmas. And I'm like really shocked about her intro kasi nagbumili siya ng billboard para lang dun sa intro niya, and I'm like really shook na I just realized that ang laki na ng growth niya since like nung first ko siyang fina-follow. Well, actually, fina-follow ko siya dahil sa best friend ko, si Erin. Hi, Erin, if you're listening to the podcast. Siya talaga yung nag-influence sa akin kay Alicia Marie, and since then, we're like, been on the journey with her, like her full transformation. Pero hindi kami yung pinaka mga unang fans. We're just like halfway there. I think we were like grade 6 when we started watching her content. And it was basically like school stuff, like back to school, Tumblr, Instagram, vibes pa yung kinukuha niya. And like now, syempre, she is on her 20s na, like 25 upper, I think 26 yata. And syempre, mas mature na yung mga content niya. But I still love it anyway. But then today, I'm getting off topic, but what I want to share today is like, I kind of want to plan this podcast now for a very long time because this is like advice for a junior high school graduate. Well, this is not really a particular advice just for like, upcoming junior high school or, the grade 7 students out there, but to also, like any student out there that like need advice. I know I'm still a student myself, but this is the list of like my regrets, maybe a little regrets in well, not little, but like some of the major regrets that I have encountered during my junior high school years, and that I wish that I developed or like, work out on during my junior high school, because junior high school is quite long. It's 4 years, unlike in the Western where it's only like 2 years. Syempre kasi 'di ba ang K to 12 is baliktad dito. 4 years yung junior high school and yung senior is 2. Well, in the USA, particularly in America, it's vice versa. But now let's just get started. So here is like the things I wish I should have known better, or should have realized sooner. So the first in my list is that I wish I shouldn't have taken numerous constructive criticisms about me too seriously. Well, this is for like the constructive criticisms that I received from both of my teachers and my classmates, because both of my classmates and my teachers will really comment about stuff that I do in school, because y- and it's not like uncommon for them to say things about me. And I wish na hindi ako masyadong hard sa sarili ko no mga times na sinasabi nila sa akin yun. Like, they were saying that to like, improve myself better. And, kasi minsan, I'm this type of person na sinasabi nga, ano yun, balat sibuyas. Like, and, madali akong maiyak, or like, I'm very emotional about the things or the words that is said to me. Like, I take it too seriously. So I think that is one of like my weakest points of my, personality. And I am continuously trying to develop that. And I think ito nga yung isa sa mga naging regrets ko, because during junior high school, I was like a really too emotional person. Like, kapag may sinabi lang sa akin na parang kahit hindi naman siya intended for you to like yung parang i-hate ka talaga, yung hindi naman talaga siya negative or yung trash talk about you. I think about it too much. Like, to the point na pinag-iisipan ko siya tuwing gabi, when it's just like, like a very minor like comment about you. For example, like, there's one time when I was seventh grade. I think a teacher, like, I won't say the name na kasi due to personal reason, I just don't want, kasi uh ayoko naman siyang i-shade, because I love that teacher. And he said to me, like, in the after the first and second grading, like, of course, he was going to check our like notebooks for like syempre yung if we're taking notes, because it's a part of our grades. And he always commented about my penmanship, because at that time, seventh and eighth grade, where like my penmanship was, I really don't care. Like, my penmanship was at that worst state like ever. Kahit ako nakikita ko, I still have my notes back then, and when I see this currently, I'm still shook. Like, bakit ko nga ba ginawa yun? Like, I really didn't care about my penmanship, but then after that, after like his comment, I was like too hard on myself. Like, I was like deeply depressed about, oh my gosh, is it really bad? Like, I take it in a very negative way, na to the point na hindi na ako, it's not healthy. Like, alam naman natin that too much isn't healthy na for anything, like even consuming good things. And I think that's one thing that I regret during my junior high school. And there's a lot of instances that I have done this, not just like that particular situation, but a lot of situation that where my classmates would give advice about me, which is a little bit, a pang in my heart. A pang in my heart talaga. Pero yeah, I wish I didn't like think about it too much. And like, I like this K drama scene where Lee Jung Suk, from While You Were Sleeping, he said that when you did something bad, uh, reg- um, feel the regret for a short period of time, but then remember it for a long. I know, regrets are for a short moment, but remember it for a long period of time. Well, I just paraphrase it, because Lee Jung Suk is talking in Korean. So, syempre hindi ko naman maalalaman talaga yung direct na sinabi niya. But you get what I mean. And next one is like, the second part is, I shouldn't have constricted myself in building relationships or friendships in particular. So, since like elementary, I have this issue na kasi na I have like a bunch of friends. Like, I consider them as friends, because at elementary school, like, everyone was your friend. And like, syempre yung mga kahit yung usap mo lang sa kanya, then you consider them as friends, and then you become close. But then at a very young age, I realized that not all of the friends, quote unquote friends, that you have are true friends. And since elementary, because I have like a really bad experience about those friendship, I kind of really have trust issues on that particular subject. Well, until I met some true friends along the way that I'm very thankful for, that I still have now. But I still have that issue na napakahirap ako maging ka-close. Well, not in the sense na hindi ako makakausap ng isang bagong tao, but in the sense na yun, I don't trust people that easily. Well, I know it's like for a fact that you shouldn't trust people easily, like too easily, like for like just one encounter, then you become friends. But what I meant is yung long-term na relationship niyo with each other. I still have that issue, like, for like betrayals and everything. I'm not going to deep dive into that issue because I'm not comfortable sharing with it, but I think that's one of the regrets na kasi because of that issue, I hold myself back in a lot of situations na sana marami akong naging, yung kahit man lang yung social really interaction ko or yung skill ko na makipagkaibigan at makipag-socialize ay magkaroon ng improvement. At pero dahil nga sa issue ko na ganun, I tend to like be a little more quiet and more particular on the people that I talk to. And at some point, it's bad kasi you should, minsan kasi kailangan, hindi naman sila palaging yung mga close friends mo, and the friends that you are used to be with will not always be there. Because truth to be told, you will go to college, you will go to separate universities and schools. You won't always be together. And I think I'm still having a hard time about that now that I am in a new school and in a new environment. Although it's still like online classes, I have a hard time, like having a group or just interacting with new students or classmates that I have. So I think that's one of the things that I should work on too still. Next is number 3 is I should have made clearer notes versus too much notes. So I've talked about this like in number 1 that I just want to like, kasi dati nung junior high school ako, I have taken too much notes, like literally. Isa sa mga masisipag na mag-take notes. Pero yung notes ko kasi hindi clear. Yung it's like a jumble of words put in a notebook, and it's after some time I wouldn't even I wouldn't understand what I was jotting down that day. Kaya nahihirapan din akong mag-study. I think that's why I like failed some of my a lot of quizzes during like my 7th and 8th period. Buti na lang nag-improve nung 9th and 10th grade kasi I have to like have good and better notes. At the time I realized that I should up my game. But then nung 7th and 8th grade I have a hard time, studying because of like notes that I can't even understand. So I think that's what I am working on, lalo na ngayon sa senior high that we're online classes and I have much more time, to construct my notes because we're doing online classes and modules are like posted early before or the day but before our synchronous classes. That's why I have more time to like have good and pretty notes now because I really love I'm sorry about that because I have like this hobby to like make good notes. That's why I really love my stationery. If you don't know, if you're not really close to me, I love doing stationery and a lot of journaling in my notebooks. So yes. Next one is number 4. I wish I should have participated more competitions. Well, this is a more like major regrets that I have. Kasi I have this issue na dami ko namang issue. But ito kasi, I regret this a lot because at the time, junior high school was like a roller coaster ride of my confidence level. Sometimes my confidence level is too high, sometimes it's very low. And my very low self-esteem made me doubt a lot of my potential. Kasi although meron kasi talaga kami mga classmate like intended for like, we know that they are going to compete this year because, they have the brains. And then there will be times that you will get the chance to like, be with them. And then I have because of my self-doubt, because I have a low self-confidence about myself, and that's why I like, refuse a lot of, times that I wish I should have been with my classmates, competing. And I'm really happy that buti na lang nung grade 10, I tried myself, you challenge myself to like um join in this like academic competition in the in UP, University of the Philippines, the science and math brain power quiz. I'm very proud of myself for like, having the confidence to do it, even though I didn't get much recognition about it. I'm still happy that I got that experience kasi and I wish no time na yun nung nandun ako sa competition, I wish that I have did it in the past couple of years. Kasi pwede akong mag-participate dun talaga eh, because I don't kasi in-encourage talaga kami ng mga teachers namin na to go there and participate. I just didn't, I didn't believe in myself. And that time, I wish I did believe in myself and, compete. Well, not just for academics, but also in like in the creative competitions. You're like, medyo mas active ako doon, like say awit, like debate contest, which I'm really sad about na hindi ako nakapag-compete due to like the pandemic. I was supposed to like, represent our school for a debate competition in our division, in the division level, but you know situations happened and I'm very sad about it. But I at least I've got to experience a little, but then I just regret that I didn't do more competition, because it gives you a lot more experience, and see a lot more people other than your local in the local area. Next is, I wish I had addressed the issue about my allowance to my parents. So this is like a very minor, well, in the middle issue. Like, I wish I wasn't like too shy or too afraid to say about the issue about my allowance. It's not that it's too na kulang, but then I wish that nagkaroon kami ng open conversation about my allowance and like my finances with my parents. I wish I did that earlier on during my junior high school, kasi ngayon ko lang na-realize that it's really important, to finance at a very young age, kasi to know how to manage your finances. And my mom is really particular with that, because she is very clear about the money and where it is going. She doesn't want any money to go to waste. Even my dad, my friends, I always tell that my parents are super kuripot, but then now I understand why about that, as I grow up. And I wish na sana hindi ako masyadong natakot, dahil nga meron akong mindset na natatakot akong parang mag-comment about dun sa allowance ko. In particular, talking with them in general is really a little bit intimidating for me. And I wish I have done it sooner. But now I feel like I have improved myself now. Lalo na during quarantine, we had a lot of open conversations about it. So I wish I have done it sooner. Well, next one is the last one before I end this podcast, is that I wish I had made more memories with my classmates. So there's a lot of I have a lot of regrets on this one during like the earlier on, because I was focused on like love that time. So I won't go deep that in that. But if you want a more detailed video about it, maybe a more detailed experience about that, maybe I will in the future if I'm more open about it. But at this time, I won't go into deeper details. But yeah, I was too focused on like the relationships or the love that I have you know made during my early high school life. And I wish I didn't. I think this is because of Wattpad. Like during I really love watching no watching reading Wattpad stuff. Me and my a lot of my friends read Wattpad together, and we have like this fantastic, memory, like expectation that when you're in high school, you will develop. I just don't want to say this. You will develop like a lot of relationships, particularly in the opposite sex. But then I realized it's not your high school life won't be like really incomplete if you don't have that relationship, because what's important in high school is your memories with your best friends and your classmates. Because I'm really like so blessed that I have classmates with me throughout my high school and elementary. Like we have like a long history together, and I wish that I have na mas lalo ko pa siyang inappreciate during those times during high school, na makasama sila and make memories with them, and just like have an open conversation with a lot of them. Because nare-regret ko yun, kasi I really miss them, lalo na ngayon, kasi I miss their, you know your, kasi kilala mo na sila eh. Hindi katulad ngayon na I have new classmates and you're starting from zero. And I wish na hindi ko sila taken for granted last year during my high school years. Kasi dati kasi ang iniisip ko na magtatagal pa naman kami magsasama. Like, we have a lot of years together, so why not, focus on other things? But no, they're the ones who are always beside you. And, syempre sila yung parang yung magiging interaction mo eh, and you build memories with them. So, kapag nakikita ko yung mga old memories ng mga post nila and wala ako dun, I'm like really sad kasi bakit hindi kasi ako pumunta dun sa mga, mga hangouts. Although hindi naman kasi ako yung type ng I'm not an extroverted person. Like, I don't spend a lot of time outside. I want to, lock myself up in my room because that's just who I am. But then, I have a lot of these excuses because of church. I know, church is like main priority. But then, there are times na free lang naman talaga ako, and then I would like, just won't go because I I was too lazy to, or like, bakit ko pa kailangang mag-attend yan? Yun yung iniisip ko, and I regret it so much because I just wish that I have realized sooner that I'm going to miss them so bad. So bad that I even made a Wattpad story about my classmate. Yeah, the Over Felicity, my newest, if you're active on Wattpad and you're, following me on Wattpad, which is at Riaz _24 if you want to follow me. I created this new story this during quarantine, which the final chapter will be like release before January 2021. So like this the end of like maybe this week or next week I will have it, published na. And it's like inspired of my 10th grade experience, and some of my sessions during like writing these chapters, I always like have tears shedding because I miss the memories that we had, and you know I wish I have realized it sooner. But then, regrets are always after incidents and situations. So that's all for this podcast. Napatagal tayo sa aking. Hey guys, I forgot to say goodbye and while I was editing my recording. So I hope that you have liked this podcast, this episode, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of that. And this is Luel, and then see you next time. Bye.